Hey there, how you doing? All right, beautiful people. My name is Justin Taylor. You are at Firestorm Freerunning and Acrobatics, and today we are going to be doing the palm spin tutorial. A palm spin is a cool little flowy move that allows you to redirect yourself on a wall, on a rail. Basically, if I'm running forward, I do this cool little spinny flippy thing. I turn back around and I'm off. It's also a really good base for a lot more advanced moves, a few of which we'll show you today that you can tack onto or evolve your palm spin into. And a palm spin looks a little like this. Woo! Now I can use that to run up to an object, turn myself around quickly, and actually exit and pop off with power to redirect myself back the direction I came from. Or it's just a cool little flashy move that makes you feel pretty sweet. The really cool thing is when you get good at these, one of my personal favorite things that I do not recommend you do, just pretend there's that flashing thing that goes, I am not liable for you doing dumb stuff. My favorite thing to do is to scare the crap out of people by going somewhere where there's a big ledge or a rail that's several stories in the air with a huge drop off the other side and doing a palm spin on it. Because done correctly, you never actually lean over the object. I stay right here and spin around in place and just post with my arm, and it looks really cool and dangerous without actually having to endanger myself. Yay! Perspective. So let's do our 60-second breakdown. We're gonna get into this palm spin. You guys ready? Oh my God, you're always so attentive. I love it so much. All right, I'm gonna be showing you guys a left spinning palm spin. I highly recommend you learn it both directions, but just for the tutorial, we'll do a left spinning palm spin right now. So here's how it works. 60-second breakdown and magic. All right, guys, I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna get in my turn vault hand position. What that means is whichever way I'm turning, in this case, left, I'm gonna take that left hand and put it upside down right here on the edge. You'll notice my thumb is over the top of the edge. I would do the same thing on a rail with a over grip position, just reversed. I'm going right here. My other hand can either go right here on the edge, notice my thumb is down and fingers on top, so they're reversed, or actually up on top. And all I'm gonna do here is jump, look back over my shoulder while tucking my knees up and over my chest. Notice my shoulder stays over my landing area. It does not lean forward. All I'm doing here is jumping, gripping, and throwing this behind me as I tuck my knees up and over where my shoulder is. Right here, jump, tuck. Notice that as I do this, I'm landing with my arm. It's really torqued, so generally you'll let go at the end. Very important here is as I jump, I'm throwing behind me. I can't leave this hand here or it'll block my legs from coming through. Reverse grip, hand on top, lean back, look over my shoulder, jump and tuck. Woo! 60-second breakdown. Yeah! That's my own personal special effect. No big deal, I'm not gonna charge you for that. All right, guys, let's get into a little more breakdown here. So, when you do your hand placement, like I said, whichever way I'm turning, if I'm turning right, I'm gonna reverse that right hand. It's really important to keep your thumb on top. Here's why. If I put my hand here, this is great as long as I have enough pressure. And there are some more advanced versions that you do where you put your hand on the face of the object. But if, yeah, you'll wanna move over so you can see my hand. Haha! If I go here and my hand slips, I am then gonna slam my face into this edge. All right? You can lose those teeth, and then you'll look like Coach Braylon. Ha ha! Psh! It's funny because he doesn't have the front tooth. Okay, now I just sound mean. All right, so we're gonna have that reverse grip, thumb on top to make sure we can't slip down. This locks me in place. My other hand, I have two real choices. Number one, I can place that hand on top, or two, I can do this grip right here. This will give me more control and power because this one, as I push, can slip, but this one when you begin is usually easier for people and makes them feel a little more confident. You guys may remember in our parkour tutorials before, in our level 1 parkour tutorial, we learned how to do our turn vault onto an object. And a turn vault is the same thing. I bring my hand here, I place a hand on top, I jump, and I'm turning myself back this way. That is half of your palm spin. All that would happen here now is my hand stays, this hand would get out of the way, and I'd continue my jump, and there I am, I've finished my palm spin. So a really good one to do here, I'm gonna keep going to the right because we wanna learn both ways and be ambidextrous, is when I come up, I recommend learning like this. This hand position is going to be the safest and generate the most amount of power. It's just very awkward in the beginning because you don't do many things where you would grab with your thumbs over the edge with your hands in reverse positions. I don't want my hands any wider than shoulder width, or else I'm not going to be generating as much power or have as much control. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to start with my feet together. I'm going to jump up. As I jump, here's the hard part. A lot of people like to twist before their butt is at the height of their shoulders. Watch what happens if I jump and start to turn immediately. Splat. I need to jump and pop my hip up so my hips are coming up to the height of my shoulders or slightly higher. Eventually you won't have to do that. This is just for getting to learn how to do it. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to jump, start to turn, lift those hips. Once my hips are high enough, I can tuck my legs, and my legs will go here between the block and my hips. As you notice, if my hips are too low, I'm going to hit the side of the block. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump and do my turn vault onto the object. Now what I'm trying to practice here, if you'll notice, is I'm leaning forward over the edge. These tricks are really scary in the beginning because you have to stay leaned over, which means you're committed. If I land like this, there is nothing that's going to pull me back that direction. I'm going to land here. I can't finish the palm spin and land where I took off from. So what I have to do is scare myself a little by leaning forward. So what I want you to practice is when you land, lean forward until you start to fall. Jump the legs through. What we're eventually going to try to do here is do that 180 turn vault on top, tap the feet, jump down and land. And what I'm trying to do, as scary as it seems, is keep leaning over the edge and looking down here. So if I suddenly stall, I'll fall on my head. I'm just going to jump, touch, and let the momentum of gravity trying to pull me back down to land on my head, and tuck my legs down and have my legs land there before my face would. Very important for your feet to land before your face. So I'm going to go here, feet are together, I'm going to jump, tap, go back down. Jump, tap, go back down. Now what I can also do is get to the point where I'm only tapping one foot. And what I want to do is I want to get to the point where I'm touching that foot less and less and less until it's almost like I don't need to touch it. So I'd come in here, little tap, and I come back down. I want you to notice that when I do this, I'm tapping with my outside leg. So if I'm spinning to the right, that outside leg, once I'm up there, furthest away from me, it's going to be my left foot. I come in here, I lean, I tap, and I step back through. That inside leg is still swinging to build momentum. I can tap my inside leg, but that outside leg is kind of trailing out further, and it slows me down. It's like spinning here versus spinning here and tucking in. It's just going to generate more torque and rotational speed for me. Now, let's break down another thing that you can do. So, when you learn on a block, my goal is to come into a palm spin in a straight position, place my hands, spin around, and land right back where I started. It's literally a straight line in and a straight line out. The way that most people learn, and this totally makes sense because it's a little scary, let me come towards you guys this way, is people want to come in at this angle. Why do they want to come in at an angle? Because if I jump, I'm not going straight forward over that. It feels easier, right? I can jump up, redirect myself, and come back down over here. The problem with this way of doing it, and I see everybody do this in the beginning, is when I come here, I can push myself backwards and I land where I started. When you come here, you will redirect at 90 degrees. That's what happens. Your body goes here and here. It is much harder when your energy is trying to go that way to pull yourself this way than it is to push myself straight back where I came from. So what will happen for most people is you'll jump up, whee! You'll spin around, you'll try to come back this way, and you will land right on your tailbone, and then you will cry. You will cry like a dirty, disgusting little b-boy. B-boy! Oh, look at Haku. He just slips on the shades. He's like, what's up, Miami? I mean, oh, that was pretty fancy. All right, now that we've deviated from everything we were doing, let's get back into it. Palm spins. Very scary in the beginning. Don't come diagonally. You will land on your hips. You need to be able to push back. The easiest way to do that, although it seems very scary and is harder when you first learn, you guys notice a trend with most of these skills? I'm like, do it this way. It's scarier and harder in the beginning, but it'll make your life easier later on. It's like making good decisions and putting in hard work. It's more difficult in the beginning than doing it the easy way, but it pays off dividends as you go on. So when I do this, I'm going to come in straight line, none of that diagonal stuff, and I'm going to push myself back. Here's a really important thing I want you guys to notice. The entire palm spin, everything that rotates, flips, does this whole thing, rotates around one point. And that is my posting arm, which is my upside down arm, the arm I'm turning towards, the shoulder of that posting arm. I'm going to do this really weird little palm spin here. I want you to notice this shoulder. This shoulder is right over here above the ground, right? Wherever this shoulder is where I will land directly underneath. So if I were to come up, we're going to leave it right here. Obviously, I would fall if I try to bring my feet up here, so I'm going to bring it in a little bit. But if my shoulder is back out here, you'll notice how I'm trying to, my body wants me to fall forward, okay? It's going to land me right back there. If I come in at this angle and try to do this palm spin, we're going to do it right here on this green one so I can eat crap and show you guys why not to do this thing. I'm going to come in at this angle. All right, and we're going to see, I'm going to try to push back this way. We're going to see what happens. I come in, woo! All tailbone right there. It is difficult to redirect your energy. If I come in, look at this beautiful straight line. If I come in on this straight line and lean back on that shoulder, I'm going to switch this time so you guys can see the opposite side. This shoulder right here, if I lean back on it, didn't even matter that this thing moved, right? Because my shoulder was where it was supposed to be and my body dropped me back in the same spot. Despite this thing moving like 18 inches. A little terrifying, but not too shabby. Let's go back and we're going to finish up real quick. Dooga, 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 dooga. All right, guys, now that I've told you how to properly do a palm spin by coming in straight, placing the hands, leaning back on the shoulder, which has to lean as you jump, we're going to break those rules and go kind of diagonal like I just told you not to do. But now you know what will happen if you practice that way continuously. You will clip your tailbone and be an unhappy camper. So what we want to do in the beginning, just to get used to this, is if I'm going to spin left, I'm going to come to the left edge of an object. I'm going to place my hands here. This way I can do my palm spin, and should I mess up and land right here where I'd clip my tailbone, there's nothing there to actually clip. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to do my palm spin. You'll notice if this thing actually continued, I would have hit it. I would not have made my palm spin. It would not have worked. But I can actually practice a palm spin without having to worry about coming at an angle, without having to do anything crazy. And I can notice, not only can I do the skill, I can then look at my landing and say, would that have worked? Would that not have worked? So the goal, as always, be a little tiny monkey guy. The goal, as always, is to land back where I started. Woo! But as I'm beginning to learn, I can now jump, bring my legs up and over this way as I feel comfortable, and notice whether or not I would have made it. I highly recommend starting on the edge of an object to keep you nice and safe in the beginning. And then once you notice, the easy way to do this, draw a nice little chalk line right here. Did I land on this side of the line or on the line? I would have hit the object, that would have sucked. Did I land on this side of the line? I would have been safe. Also give yourself a little line that you're starting on. Did I land back on the line? To the side of the line. Now I know where I'm going on this and how it's going to work. One other thing I'm going to show you guys real quick. We got a nice little rail right here. Palm spins are awesome on rails. I personally think they're even easier, but in the beginning, they're very scary because if you clip a toe, right, you can bash yourself and then fall back down. It's not much fun. But as you feel comfortable, these are really cool ones where you can just come up, woo, and get fancy with it. So remember, learn on something near the ground, on the edge of that object, get it down. If you feel comfortable, come to a rail. I can't do it right here because I have another rail that locks in place so I can maneuver all this stuff around. But a handicap rail, a normal handrail, will have a rounded edge that goes down, and you can practice right on the edge of that. I actually learned not on a block or on a table, but outside on the edge of a handicap rail where I didn't have to worry about clipping my toes as I came around. It's a very good way to learn outdoors without needing any special equipment. One last thing just to give you guys an idea of how this all works and more advanced things that you can do once you've got your palm spin down. So much hair in my eyeballs! There we go, you can actually see my face. When you got this, we've got our palm spin. Here's a slightly more advanced version called a reverse palm spin. Same basic idea, but you can come out a different way. And my personal favorite trick, a reverse one-arm palm spin. I'm gonna use a slightly higher object just to keep it a little safer. And hopefully, my sweaty palms will not cause me to slip on my face, which will be hilarious for you guys. Same exact idea. Instead of coming in here, we're coming over, skipping that first arm, going reverse, but we won't use the second arm, we'll just use one. And it comes in a little like, woo! More fancy version. So, start with your basic palm spin. Jump, turn vault on, come back down. Turn vault on, little tap, come back down. Once you can get past the tap, do it on the edge of the object where you're nice and safe. Once you can do it there and land back where you started and not where the object would have continued had it been longer, then you can do it on the center of the object. Once you feel really safe, you can do it on a rail. Last thing I want to point out is if you do your palm spin and halfway through, because you've just started learning them and you're like, I'm going to commit to this palm spin, and halfway through you realize, oh crap, I'm not going to make it past, I'm going to slam my tailbone, it's going to suck. Remember your safety. Whichever way you're spinning, stick the outside leg out, place it on the object, step your inside leg through into a safety vault. So if I do a bad palm spin here and I go, ah, safety, step out. Saved my life. Yeah. All right, beautiful people. I hope that you like, comment, subscribe, and share. And one day you can also have this luxurious hair. It's in my eyeballs, but I don't care, because I'm beautiful. That
was pretty good. That was a solid one.
Eminem for shizzle. All right, guys. Leave me a comment. Let me know what skills you want to learn. 2 weeks ago, we did flyaways. Last week, we did Italian jumps. Today, we did palm spins. You want to do devil drops. You want to do angel drops. You want to do wall flips. You want to do cast backs. Maybe you want to do some weird stuff like macaque full twists. Maybe you want to do cast loser front flip because you're a rebel. Maybe you want to do trinity flips or inward sides or whatever. Just leave a little comment down below so I know what you want to do. I'm going to be honest and real with you for a second. There's not that many comments, okay? It's kind of a channel that hasn't really grown that much yet, which means if you leave me a comment with a skill, it's probably the one I'm gonna do, because you're the only person commenting. I don't know why I'm whispering. I just said that no one's watching, and yet I'm whispering like it's a secret. It just made myself feel sad. I'm just gonna go now. Palm spin away, baby. Do, 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 do. You want to show us a flyaway? Tap. Whoa, that was.
No, she wasn't ready.